So you know when you're talking about mythologies, right?
Yes.
The Norse gods must really be a Thor in the side of mythologists.
Oh yes.
Am I right?
Yes.
Am I right? But speaking of Norse mythology, you recently read some stuff about Norse mythology.
Yes, snacking on a Mars bar. I've
The Roman god of war.
yes.
What are you, Sean Connery? Celebrity Jeopardy?
Sean would like to tell you about winners.
Yeah.
Losers.
Yeah.
Losers talk about their best. Winners go home and fuck the prom queen.
So Norse mythology.
Thor went home and fucked the prom queen.
Did he? Okay.
Yes.
Why?
Because he was Thor. He had a thundering cock.
Well, this isn't getting past the FCC.
That's where loser derives from. Loki.
Wait, is it?
Loser.
Is that real?
In
Or are you
Loki.
fucking with me?
What do you think?
I can't tell when you're doing that voice. When you're doing that voice, I can't believe anything you say. Like, so why is it that Loki was like the fucking
The god of mischief?
yeah? So is it just because he's the younger brother, so he gets into shit?
He was a half-blood, first of all.
He was only half a god.
He was like,
So Odin,
yeah, basically-
Odin banged a human woman.
banged, not a human woman, but like a,
A lesser being.
a lesser
was
being. I can't
not
remember
a
what
deity.
it was. It was not a deity.
But
She was
not a
not
human.
a deity. He did not take her out to a seafood dinner and call her back. That's
Oh.
for sure.
But he did take her out to a seafood dinner.
He did, of course.
Oh, okay.
At Neptunes Net.
Neptunes. Was it like a seafood dinner / internet cafe? Neptunes Net. You got all the preteen Norse people just like playing Counter-Strike on the computers, and then you got the seafood in the back.
You know, if we have any bikers listening to this podcast right now, they're gonna be a little upset with you.
What was it?
Because the Neptunes Net is a hangout. It used to be it's very touristy at this point, but now it used to be a place where biker gangs used to hang out on their road trips on the PCH, the Pacific Coast Highway.
Where is Neptune's Net?
It's at the end of Malibu, almost before you get to Ventura.
In California?
In California.
Oh.
Malibu, California. Yes.
Yeah, but I mean, if it's a tourist trap at this point, I don't think the Hell's Angels are gonna be.
They
too
still show
pissed.
up actually in their cuts.
I'm never going there.
No, it's perfectly safe. Nobody's gonna. There's multiple gangs that show up there at a time.
But
I'm sorry, not MC clubs. Excuse me, MC clubs, not gangs.
I
take that back.
Hunter S. Thompson understands what you mean. Do you ever hear the story of Hunter S. Thompson when he was doing the Hell's Angels Gonzo shit?
No.
When he was riding around with them. The reason that he stopped is because he saw He saw somebody abusing, like beating his girl, essentially,
Okay.
right? Like, but in the Hell's Angels, that's like a thing. If your girl steps out of line, you gotta smack her, because that's, they're old school guys like that.
On the rocks, and he was giving her this, to keep a woman in line, you got to beat him like a rug once in a while,
And I think it was at a point where he also like kicked a dog or something, and Hunter got in the middle of it, and so the dude just like cold clocked Hunter in the face.
Yeah.
And then he just left, and it just didn't go back. And then there was it was like an interview on one of those talk show type things where they had a member of the Hells Angels who rode around while Hunter was doing the thing, and then Hunter, and it was like a confrontation between the two guys. Here's a clip of that.
You spent a year with us. Why you got your head thumped on?
All right, get to it.
All right, I want to know why we didn't get the 2 kegs of beer that you promised us.
God damn.
I don't know why I paused.
God damn.
Yeah, but that's...
Well, you know, what's funny is like nowadays it's funny because you know I spent a little time with some motorcycle clubs.
Yeah.
Gone to some rendezvous.
Was this out here or is this back in...
It's actually New York, actually.
Oh, okay. We talking like Buffalo or NYC?
Well, not in NYC. No, it was upstate New York, out in the middle of nowhere.
Bumfuck.
There's a place.
Little do people know that New York is mostly not New York City.
Yes, people do not get that.
In fact, it's 90% not New York City.
Yeah, it's in Massachusetts. It's mostly not Boston.
Exactly.
And yeah, people who don't get that. So, anyways, I was living in Massachusetts, but I went up with a group of friends to go to this thing, this motorcycle rendezvous.
Pre-college or post-college?
Post-college.
Okay. So you were like, what, like 22, 23 at this point?
Something like that, 24, maybe 25.
Yeah.
And, you know, the whole thing about treating women a certain way, you know, that was something that they would talk about in a meeting.
Really?
Yeah, and see how, like, savory it was or unsavory it was. And so I think they came along. Well, you know what? This was a particular group of guys, so it wasn't the Hells Angels.
Do you know what the club's name was?
It was the Outlaws.
The Outlaws. Was it just the Outlaws, not like the so-and-so Outlaws?
You know, I just remember them being the Outlaws.
Okay. Do you know what their do you remember what their logo was?
No, I don't know. But I know that they are as big as the Hells Angels.
So, but like they're...
In fact, the guy that owns this, he owns acres and acres and acres of land, of farmland out there. And he's basically he was basically he's like a head honcho of the Outlaws and the Hells Angels. He was like in both motorcycle clubs or something like that. I don't really know the whole thing really all that well now, but
that's okay. So when you say they've come away in treating women like what
I don't think they appreciate the wife beating anymore.
Well, that's what I always wonder because like that seemed to be a product of the time. Because back when Hunter S. Thompson was traveling with the Hells Angels, that was in like the fucking late 60s, early 70s, where this was like either during or pre the whole, you know, women's liberation movement.
Mm-hmm.
So the suffragers and the suffragettes and whatnot, like, so that was more of a commonplace. But at the same time, it was like way back in the 60s, right? There was that interview with Sean Connery, who we call back to.
Oh, yes.
Where he says what?
She followed me into the room, so I smacked her.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is Sean Connery in that interview, he goes, "You never hit a woman," pause, with a closed fist. It's like, Sean...
You never hit her with a closed fist.
If I can find the clip, here's that clip.
You did an interview in which you said, it's not the worst thing to slap a woman now and then. As I remember, you said you don't do it with a clenched fist, it's better to do it with an open hand. Yeah, remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I didn't love that.
I haven't changed my opinion.
You haven't?
No.
And I think
she followed me into the room, so I smacked her.
Well, but that's the thing, right? Like, at the time, when you think about that, you've never hit a woman with a closed fist. Which means which, when you think about it, is true equality. In the terms of, you're gonna treat a woman with the same respect as you would treat a man, as if a man talks back to you, you hit him, and if a woman talks back to you, you hit him. Except you understand the relative strength. So if with a man, you're gonna punch him, and the woman, you're gonna slap her. However, with me personally, that doesn't jive.
Well, I mean,
because maybe that's just me, because I was raised don't hit women. Even if they,
Oh, unless she's got a knife or something heavy.
even so, I'm gonna be honest though. Even so, like if a woman, unless it's Ronda Rousey coming at me,
Oh, she doesn't need any weapons. Then.
exactly, Ronda Rousey's gonna kill me no matter what. That's fine. And if Ronda Rousey is attacking me, I probably deserve it. I'm just gonna go out on that. I probably deserve it. But like if it's
Do you deserve it?
probably. Because she's an even-tempered woman who studies mixed martial arts, so she has some sort of self-discipline. So if...
What if she got some, misinformation on you?
Oh, you mean somebody sent her, like, someone did a round of sends?
Yes. A round of sense.
But, but to the same point, though, like, even if a dude is coming at me, my first instinct is not to punch or hit them. It's to, like, try and subdue them in a way that's not...
Well, we talked about this
physically
before.
force,
Like,
right?
you and I both would probably prefer the judo aspects
Exactly.
of
like,
things. Yes.
Misdirect, you know?
Misdirects.
Like, because if you were coming at me, now you're bigger than me. You're taller than me.
Some would say.
You're broader than me. And you weigh more than I do. So my best course of action, if you're trying to come at me, is not to dodge and punch, but is to dodge and see if I can get you in some sort of headlock to get you to calm down for a second so I can subdue you to get on the ground, and I can just be like, okay. Now granted, that's a lot easier if the person is weaker than I am. But like, maybe that's just me, but that's my course of action. It doesn't matter who's coming at me. I just want to like get them to a point where they can't hurt me. And I'm not hurting them, and we're just like all like, okay, let's just think about this. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Okay, we're calm. I'm gonna let you go now. Can we just talk about this?
And I think that's if you can do that, if you can keep your head and keep your calmness in that kind of environment, in that kind of situation, then that's. Yeah. But I also think that that's easier said than done. I think
it depends on the situation too. I think if it's in a bar situation, I've had a few drinks and somebody comes at me, like some random dude is just like, hey, fuck you, and he comes at me, I'm probably gonna grab the nearest bottle and hit him in the head. Yeah. Because in that moment, it's survival. Yes. It's not, all of a sudden like you're. If in this moment you just didn't like something I said, so you threw the bottle over against the TV and you started coming at me, right now, my instinct would not be to beat you until you're not conscious enough to attack me. It would be to subdue you. But in a bar situation, I'm going to punch this guy until he's unconscious, and then I'm going to walk away. Hopefully I don't have to pay my tab because I'm getting kicked out anyway. But
oh, that'd be sweet. Well, that's a good idea.
Isn't that how that works?
That's a great idea.
You don't pay your tab?
Oh, man, that's why.
So we should start a fight club so that we
Yes.
don't have to pay our tabs.
Yes.
This is genius.
This is a genius idea.
It's fucking genius.